at that. You got the voice on?
All right. So we are officially live.
We are?
We are.
We're live right now?
We're live right now.
I love the way he tells us that. All right, so let's talk. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sales, the Possibilities in You. And we want to hear me.
Oh, you're good. Go.
We're good? We're live, right?
Yeah.
We are?
Yeah.
All right, good. And we trained a whole group of new sales professionals. And we wanted to talk to you guys about sales and the possibilities in you and the possibility of what you can do in sales. So if any of you, first of all, we're all in sales, aren't we?
All the time.
I mean, you don't have to have a title of a salesperson.
Nope.
We're all in sales. Everybody is in sales. Every single person that you know is in sales. You're always selling something. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, you could be selling your children. You could be selling your bosses on how they need you. You could be selling anybody, right? Especially with the kids.
Right.
I'm selling my grandson first thing in the morning. I mean, it's unbelievable. So we're all in sales. But we just got done training a group of salespeople who are starting a brand new career in sales. Some of them never sold anything in their life before. And they see the possibilities within themselves that they can actually achieve success because they studied all week. Very interactive training, right? So we make sure everybody studying, they go to work to do it. But the real question is I want to ask the audience out there, how much are you investing in yourself? Like, what are you doing to change your life? If you're not happy with your life, or if you're stuck right now, or if you're in a job that you feel stuck, what are you doing to change it? Are you investing in books? Are you investing in personal development programs? Are you investing in seminars? Are you doing anything to change, right? And by the way, if anyone's out there, you have a question, you want to give a shout out, just raise your hand and just ask your question. And Brendan over there will tell us you got a question, we'll answer your question for you. But I want to discuss the sales training that we had this week because it was awesome. And we talk about the sales to the steps and what the steps to the sale. We're going to tell you all the steps today. So you're going to get a lot of value if you're on watching this right now. What about this week?
First of all, this is Matt and I'm Al. Glad to be here.
I forgot about that.
We're here from the Maximum Potential Institute. The greatest thing about our training, it's fabulous because we get to see people transform.
They transform.
In 1 week because of how we deliver the message and how we coach and train. In 1 week, they're like a different person. From the first day to today, the last day, completely different, attitude different, the possibilities. They finally realize that they can leave from paying paycheck to paycheck. They can see that there's greatness in there and there's great things ahead.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
It's great, and they had a great time. But you know, the real thing is that people don't understand, even people in professional sales don't understand what it takes to sell. Selling, just so you understand, selling is not telling. I don't want someone to put that in there. Selling is not telling. Selling is listening. Selling is giving the person what they want all the time. If you listen twice as much as you speak, okay, listen twice as much as you speak, you're going to be a good salesperson. Selling is not telling. We always tell our students, we always tell our people that in order to become a professional salesperson, you have to listen and you have to customize and tailor the needs of your customer. Be a good servant leader and you'll be a great salesperson. And there's various different steps to the sale, aren't there?
Absolutely. But most people don't realize they're selling anyway. They're selling to get a job, and every day they're showing up to selling that they don't get fired. I mean, that's the type of selling, because you're selling like, hey boss, I'm doing a great job, right? You're always constantly selling. You're selling to get out in traffic, right? You're always selling. People don't realize it. They always think it's a product or a service. You're actually selling yourself to eat right, or we just talked about investing. You're selling yourself to invest in the right book and the right seminar, but you're also selling yourself to eat the right foods. And you're selling yourself to get the right exercises.
Sure. It's
all about sales. We're always selling.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the steps to the sale. And I want to bring in a special guest here because he's been on our ambassador team now for the past year.
Close to a year.
About a past year, and he is our top sales ambassador. And I don't want to tell you how much money he makes because it's a lot of money, and I don't want to disclose that. However, I will say this. It's because of enthusiasm, the love for the product, because of the love for personal development, and it has a lot to do with your attitude and your personality and doing something that you absolutely love, right? So Mary Munoz is on. Hi Mary, hope all is well. Good to see you on here. Great to have you on here. And what I want to talk about with Jonathan here in just a few minutes is the possibilities that we all have within ourselves, no matter what the circumstances are in life. You know, we talk about sales and we talk about the steps of the sale and the retail side of steps of the sale. You know, step one is obviously the meet and greet. And step two is obviously the make a friend or the interview. I call that step the secret sauce. I believe that step 2 in the sales game is it. If you can make a friend with somebody, the selling is easy. You don't have to be a closer these days, okay? So anyone who tells you they're a master closer, okay, you're a master closer. I don't need to close that much. Don't get me wrong. You have to close the sale. You have to know how to overcome objections and close the sale. But if you make a really strong friend, people buy from people they like and they trust. That's it. If people don't like and trust you, they're probably not going to buy from you.
No, they're not. Not in today's day. They get all the information they want on the internet. Right. And they have a choice whether they want to deal with somebody that knows what they're doing or somebody that doesn't know what they're doing.
And sometimes you'll buy from someone who doesn't know what they're doing just because you like them and you trust them.
Right.
And that's an important part. So step 2 is actually making a friend, or what we call the interview process, finding out what that customer exactly needs and what they really want. Step 3, depending on the industry that you're in, can go either way. So step 3 is really the selection of the product that you're in. And these steps apply for, it doesn't matter if you're selling cars or clothing or cell phones or anything in the retail industry, right? Or even anything in business to business. So step 3 is finding the selection of the actual product that your customer wants and landing them on the product that they will buy, right? Step 4 is doing not a demo of it, but doing a presentation of the product. And if you're in any industry, you got to know your product, don't you?
You have to. If you don't know your product, you don't have confidence. You don't have confidence, you're not going to sell, you're not going to make money, and you're going to say, this job is terrible because they don't have it in you. You have to know what you're talking about. And nowadays, you need to know as much as possible because the customer sits online and studies the product.
Absolutely.
They know more than you before they get there.
And when you're doing the presentation, here's an important thing that I want to tell salespeople out there or anybody who's in this kind of an industry. When you're doing a presentation, you have to do the presentation based on the needs that the customer told you back in step 2, the secret sauce. Remember I said that? Because in step 2, they're going to tell you everything you need in order to sell them. In fact, they're going to tell you every objection you're going to have to overcome. They're going to tell you anything that's going to have any kind of objections or whatever closes that you're going to need to pull out of your toolbox in order to close them on the sale, right? So now you do the selection, and then you want to ask for the business, right? And if it's the car business, you pull the car up. But if it's not the car business, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're selling expensive suits, you do the selection, you do the presentation, you got the guy looking good, you got the person looking sharp, they're checking themselves out in the mirror, you turn around, you say to yourself, you look awfully sharp in this, sir, Mr. Al. What do you say we write this deal up right now? And you got to go ask for the close. You got to ask for the business. And this is where you become a professional now, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You got to ask for the business. If you know you have the right product, if you fit their needs, they want the product. They might tell you no, and all they're really saying is, you haven't convinced me. You haven't showed me enough value.
Tell me more.
When somebody says, I'm not sure, I want to think about it, what they're really saying is, you haven't convinced me, tell me more, show me the value for my money.
And then you got to start overcoming objections, and you got to figure out what the objections are. One of the funniest things, I don't know if I want to call it the funniest, one of the things I've always had a hard time understanding is why professional salespeople in any industry don't take the time to learn how to, number 1, take an objection, and then number 2, overcome an objection, because you're going to get them. It doesn't matter what business you're in, and they're all the same. I got to think about it. I got to talk to my wife or my husband. I don't have any money coming in for the next few weeks. My credit's bad. Whatever it may be, they're all the same. But you have to learn how to overcome objections. We have a formula for that called AIM, right? What does AIM stand for?
Acknowledge, isolate, and move to a close.
Acknowledge, isolate, move to a close. So you acknowledge the objection. So it doesn't matter what the objection may be. So for example, just give me an objection. It doesn't matter.
I can't buy anything without my wife.
That's no matter what industry you're in. I mean, depending on the sales industry that you're in, is that going to happen? Absolutely. First thing you want to do is, rather than saying, well, where's your wife? Can we make a phone call? Bad salesman. You might want to turn around and say, listen, Al, I can appreciate that, It's very important that you and Becky make the decision together, especially when the purchase is this large. It makes sense to you, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Of course. I mean, I'm married 26 years. I wouldn't make this kind of decision either. You acknowledge. So now you're acknowledging what he's saying to you. Then you want to isolate. Beside Becky not being here right now, let's just assume that she was here with you and everything worked out and the numbers worked out and everything was perfect. Al, let me ask you something. Would you and Becky be driving this car home today?
Most likely.
Now you want to move to a close. Now, if she says most likely, you want to hear the other objection. You hear what I just did? I listened. Because most likely isn't a definite yes, and you want to make sure you get the yes no matter what, right? And that's Mark Jarama. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Welcome to the show, man. Glad you're on board. So that's the key, right? What did he just say? Most likely. So as a professional, I would kind of stop there and I'd say, listen, now I can appreciate that you don't want to take this with you right now. You said most likely. What else would stop you from purchasing this thing right now? Purchasing this thing, whatever it may be. I use the thing because I don't know what I'm selling right now. What else would stop you? Is there anything else stopping you from making the decision by this besides Becky not being here?
I don't have enough of down payment for this right now.
I can appreciate that. You want to make sure that you have enough down payment to get into your monthly budget, right? You want to make sure it fits into your monthly budget, am I right?
Absolutely.
Makes sense. I just acknowledged again, don't I? So what you're saying is if Becky was here right now, if your wife was here and Becky was here and the down payment worked out and your monthly payment worked out, would you be taking this home today?
Absolutely.
Now I got a commitment. Now I want to move to the close. See, as a professional salesperson, I'm going to stop for a second because we can go on. We just did 5 days of this. I mean, we did 7 days really, but it was 5 days of intense training. We can go on for 5 days. And we're going to constantly do this. So I want you guys to keep tuning back in, and we're going to have a schedule and the whole 9 yards. But what I want to say is this. You have to invest in yourself. You have to constantly invest in books. You have to constantly invest in various different things to get yourself better. Rather than listening to something on the radio on the way to work every day, why don't you listen to something that's going to increase your professionalism, something that you can learn from? Am I right?
What I don't understand is most people that are in sales, and we said it earlier, they don't invest in themselves.
Yeah.
They show up to sell their product or service every day, but they do not get better. And in sales, like anything else, you got to get better. Just like doctors got to keep getting recertified to get better in what they're doing. I mean, you must invest in yourself, whether it's books or seminars or that wonderful YouTube. I mean, whatever you want. You want motivation, you want sales trainers, you want a demonstration of whatever you want. A guy today said, I don't know how to tie a tie. I said, go to YouTube, how to tie a tie. He was unbelievable. I know exactly how to tie a tie now.
You can learn anything on YouTube.
It's unbelievable. But if you don't invest in yourself, you're hoping for different rewards, and you don't have them. And you're not going to get them. You must invest in yourself.
Absolutely. And you want to know what? That's the most important thing, is to keep reinvesting in yourself. And it's kind of funny you said that. This morning I was watching the Gary Vee show, which is another YouTube, which he's on YouTube. And I was watching Gary Vee with Tim Ferriss because I want to constantly learn. No matter what it is, I want to constantly learn from others and other foremost experts in the industry of sales and professional personal development and the whole 9 yards. Which brings me to an important aspect. Someone who constantly develops himself, constantly always improves himself, works with us. And I love this guy because this guy he's the epitome of success, in my opinion. He works hard, he's changed his life, he's done everything, you know. Jesse, hey Jesse, how are you, Jesse? Yes, greatness, that's what it's all about. And he's really, and actually he spoke with Jesse this weekend. And I really admire this guy. He's our top sales ambassador here at the Les Brown Institute. And he makes very good money because of his positive, enthusiastic attitude, his personality, and the whole 9 yards. So I want to bring him in here. Jonathan,
he's in the building. Jonathan's in the building. Hey, everybody, say hello to Jonathan Nolan.
Hello, Jonathan Nolan, everybody. Jonathan's in the house. And I want to say, Jonathan, welcome, buddy. Welcome. So tell us your secret to success.
Well, just as you have mentioned, right? Investing in yourself. Let's share with this. When I first came in the Institute, I had a pair of shorts on, a ponytail on top of my head, and went down halfway past my shoulders, short sleeve shirt on. And then it was said to me, it said, you don't dress for the position you're in, you dress for the position you want. And then I got to be around people who have succeeded in sales. I went to the training that they had. That first week I was there. In 4 days, I got a lot of great input on how to develop myself. And not to sell this major product, but to sell myself as a friend, as someone that cares. And I was able to go through that program. And with that being said, I went from being a person that knew nothing on how to sell somebody over the phone to someone that sells the most over the phone. And to be friends with people. I have more Facebook friends that I've never even met. Just met them through the phone. And I got them on my Facebook. I'm friends with them today.
Absolutely.
And so the sales, as you said, the key points that you hit on, absolutely. I took that stuff in. Major part is investing in yourself. And it's finding the time. One of the things, you see that I'm in a wheelchair, right? Circumstances hit us, guys. They do. Circumstances hit all of us. You know, and it's George Bernard Shaw says it's people are always blaming their circumstances for who they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The ones who get on in this world are the ones who look for the circumstance they want. If they can't find them, they create them. And so as we're going through this life and we want to develop ourselves, we're going to have to create our own circumstances. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning so I can go to the gym, so I can listen to something that's going to put me in a positive attitude for the day, so when I come in, I can make the most noise in the office. You guys know about that, right? And so we
know about that, Jonathan, that's for sure.
And that's one of the main things, is creating the circumstances that you want, investing in yourself.
Now everybody sees why we love this guy so much. Why? Because he is phenomenal, and he's positive, and it doesn't matter the circumstance that you're in. No matter what happens in life, we determine the outcome in our life. And I love when he speaks, because he speaks with passion. He speaks with just his personality is infectious. And I remember when I first met him, in fact, when he came in for the interview, he was sitting with Allie, remember, in your office. And you called me over and you said, you got to come meet this guy. You just got to come meet this guy. And I did come meet this guy. And I was like, okay. Well, you know, we were actually hiring for a couple of different positions at that time, right? And he came in and I said, well, we got to bring this guy on, man. This guy's got the attitude and the personality. And that's more than half the battle, is the proper attitude. I mean, if you wake up in the morning and you say, my life sucks, and you say shitty day, you're going to have a shitty day. I hate to say it any other way. But if you wake up in the morning with personality, man, with excitement, and you just know it, guess what's going to happen? You're going to go out there and you're going to do good. I mean, that's the reality of it. And I see this guy every morning waking up, and he comes in, he wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym. And he comes to work every day. Granted, he may be late quite often, but he comes in every day. And he comes in dressed for success. He comes in ready to go, enthusiastic. No matter what hits him, he's enthusiastic.
And he's got to call Uber. He's in a wheelchair.
Yes.
We're not in a wheelchair. Do we get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym? You go to 6 o'clock? He gets up to go to the gym, gets himself ready, dresses up, comes to work, ready to go to work.
Personality, attitude, positive attitude.
And we've seen the transformation of you. Unbelievable. We've watched you transform. It's amazing.
Yes.
Is that Lutonia who's on there? Hi, Lutonia. Welcome, Lutonia. Welcome to DeSarro. So true, so true. Welcome, Lutonia. And it's true. It is about attitude. And Jonathan, tell us a little bit about you, about what you do every single day besides that, to put your mind into that mode, to get yourself into that, I'm going to succeed today no matter what.
Well, thank you. And one of the main things is, I speak about this, is control your thoughts to control your life. Mm-hmm. And how do we control our thoughts? We got so many of them a day. How do we start controlling that? If I wake up in the morning and I don't do anything, and I just allow my thoughts to take over, I'm probably going to have a pretty bad day. Okay? If I wake up and I put the news on, I'm probably going to have a bad day. I have these headsets. The second I wake up, I put something on that says, Jonathan, you're in control of your day. Jonathan, you're in control of your life, and you're in the driver's seats of your choices and decisions today. And I put that in to start programming myself, because 90% of the world is negative. So we got negative coming from all aspects of us. We could be going through life, a conversation going off, and they're dumping garbage on us. We don't even want it, but we're just taking it. So we have to watch what we have come in our eyes, in our ears, and what we speak out of our mouth.
Yes.
So a majority of it, as soon as I wake up, is I start controlling my day and programming the things I want to go in my body, rather than allowing stuff to be dumped on me.
And I think it starts with gratitude. You know, you wake up in the morning, again, we are the sum total of the choices that we make in our life. That's Dr. Wayne Dyer, I remember reading his book. He passed away, of course, but I remember reading that statement that he said that we are the sum total of the choices that we make in our life. So you have a choice in the morning. Whether you're in sales or anything, you have a choice. And that choice is to wake up with gratitude and to wake up positive and have a daily ritual that you start in a positive way. Or you can get negative, like you just said. I mean, you can put on the news, and I guarantee you, our president tweeted something stupid, and there's some other stuff going on around the world, and it's nothing but negative. Or you can get up in the world, get down on your knees and thank God, or call it whatever you choose. So I choose to call it God. Thank God for giving me the day, and for giving me my family and all the good stuff in our lives. And then you go on with your life. Because again, you have the choice every day that you wake up, no matter what, in order for you to accomplish what you want to accomplish. You can go positive or you can go negative. And Henry Ford says it best. Whether you think you can or you think you can't,
You're probably right.
You're right. Not probably, you're right. If you wake up saying, I can't do this, guess what? You can. But if you wake up and say, I can do this, I must do this, you will. Or at least you got a shot that you will.
But that's sales. You're selling yourself on the day.
Yeah.
We were given a day, 24 hours. What are we going to do with it? We want to be miserable? We want to be unhappy? What is that going to do? Like you said, we wake up, put something positive, listen to something positive, and not watch negative news.
And that's absolutely it. So how do you sell yourself on the day?
Mm-hmm.
You sell yourself by the things that you put in your body. And whether it be the people you're around, which is really important,
Mm-hmm.
get around people that are going to tell you. They're going to help you. They're going to coach you. People that are going to guide you rather than people that are going to sit there and say, you shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
That's not good for you, man. It really sucks. You want to get around the positive people. Get around the positive input, the positive influences that are going to sell you that you can control your day. You can take this day on.
Absolutely.
My days are difficult. Believe me. I have difficult things that go on in my day. But because of me controlling my input, the most difficult things I got going on in my life are curbs and high shelves. You get that? Everything else I'm pretty good with. But curbs and high shelves, that's about as difficult as it gets. Everything else I'm pretty good with it, you know?
And you know what? You should be good with it, man, because he's alive, right? He almost died. I mean, one day we'll get on here and we'll tell his story. Mark, you say you're fired up, man? You should be fired up, Mark, because you know what? Again, we have the choice to decide what we want to do. And it's kind of funny. We have this saying all the time here that you are really the same spitting image picture of the 5 people that you hang around with on a daily basis. And I was listening to Gary Vee this morning, Tim Ferriss, like I said, and he said the same thing. And Tim Ferriss has that in his new book that's coming out. And it's the truth. So if you want to change your life, or if you want to change the direction of where you're going, then you need to change who you hang around. And you need to become positive. Look, if you're in sales, if you're in a positive type of a business, and mostly in the sales industry, I'm going to tell you that 80%, if not more, of the battle is attitude. If you wake up with attitude, man, good attitude, because there's good attitude and there's bad attitude, isn't there? But if you wake up with good attitude and positive, coming in the office every day, just ready for the day, no matter what, you're going to succeed. Even if you don't sell anything, you can go home knowing that you did everything that you possibly can. And that's why I love this guy. That's why I love this guy. Because I see him every day coming in here, man. He's probably late all the time, but that's okay. But no, I'm only kidding. He's not really late all the time, but he's on time and he's ready to rock and roll every day. And he works late, and then wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym. It's pretty exciting, isn't it?
Absolutely. Another thing I'd just like to share with the end of this here, and as you're going through this, there's going to be, and I strongly say this, there's going to be people that will lift you up and there will be people that will drain you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so important, I'm telling you, it's so important to start changing that. And when that takes place, you'll have some time that you'll feel alone. You'll feel like there's not a bunch of people, and that's a perfect time because it helps to develop who you are, and you get to find out the things that do bring joy to your life. I know this from where I've come from to where I'm at now. I worked in an environment selling health insurance, and boy, when I went in there for 6 months, it was great, and then I found out the atmosphere. I'm talking about draining. These people would talk to you, they were draining, it was negative, it was constantness. And then I got to be in this atmosphere. When we come into work, we don't discuss what's on the news. Majority of us don't watch it. We don't discuss about these bad habits. We don't discuss about these things. We discuss what can we do to grow the business bigger? What can we do to help other people? How can we expand on this? Our call this morning, our workshop call was all about how can we grow the business bigger? What are the things that we can do to improve this? So again, it's finding that niche and finding the people that want to grow the business and get around those people. Really, I'll tell you, like you said, you hang around 9 broke people, you'll be around. You're
going to be the 10th broke person. That's the reason.
You hang around 9 people with bad attitudes, you're gonna have a bad attitude, right? I come into an office where we're smiling and we joke and we like to have a good time as we make money. So if that's what you want, get into it, develop yourself, start to develop your training. These guys are phenomenal at what they do. I went through their 4-day training. I'm telling you, I'm top in sales right now. I'm top. Do you get that? I came in there with a ponytail. You get it? It's phenomenal at what they do. So you want to invest in yourself. Go to the people that are doing it or have already done it and start seeking out what they did to do it.
And we appreciate that, man. But you know what? Again, it is about the attitude. It's about personality. It's about coming in fired up and ready to rock and roll for the day, no matter what it is. And when you're in sales, I want to say this because you make a good point. If you're in sales, you ever notice that the top salespeople in the company, the top 10% of every single company, they're the guys you want to hang around. So if you're hanging around the lowest group of the people, then guess what? Your production's going to face it. You have to hang around the right people. So when you're in sales, stick around the top 10%. Find out what they're doing. And you know the funny part about that is, the vast majority of time, they are really, really, really very nice. And they want to help you grow. They want to be that. And I always found amazing to me when I first started in sales 25 years ago. I remember when Tony Robbins came to town, and Brian Tracy and Tom Hopkins and all these trainers would come to town. The lowest salespeople on the totem pole who've been there for a while, 10 years, 12 years, who weren't doing very much, who were still having a hard time paying their bills, they never had the time to go to the seminars. But yet the top salespeople in the organization always had the time to go to the seminars. Why? Because you're always looking to invest in yourself and always looking to grow. And it's funny, the top people in the company, always top sales professionals, they're always selling the most, so you would assume they're always the busiest, right? But they can always find times to invest in themselves. Always. But yet, the people who are always down here at the bottom of the totem pole in sales can never find the time. They're always struggling.
Because I think people don't realize that everybody's life is their business. This is our business, our life. And our results are going to be directly proportioned on how we do our business. Because everybody here, you're the Jonathan business, Matt business, Al business, Brendan business. We all have this business of life. Mm-hmm. How are we going to enjoy it? Are we going to enjoy it? Or are we going to be comfortable? Hey, I make enough money to pay my bills. Is that what you want? Enough money to pay your bills? Or you want enough money to do whatever you want, help whoever you want? You know, everybody settles for, well, you know, everybody else is making this, so I'm okay. No, that's not okay. What do you really want in life?
You know what the hardest part of making your first $1 million is? Let me ask a question out there. Brenda, maybe we can get a quick answer. What's the hardest part of making your first $1 million? That's a question I'm posing out there for anybody who's on this Facebook Live. And I'm going to tell you what it is in just a minute. But the hardest part of making your first $1 million is not really that. I'm not going to tell them.
I'll share with you this, though. I'll tell you, and like they're saying, invest in yourself. When I started here, I didn't go to seminars or none of that. Do you know I've been to seminars every month since I worked here?
Yeah, he has.
I've been investing in myself, doing workshops. I was here just this last Saturday doing a workshop with Omar Perry. Mm-hmm. Continually developing myself, continually reading books, continually looking out. Why do you think I'm hanging out with these guys, right? They say, hang out. I ask for rides home and everything. You know, I seek it out. You go after what you want. You go after the people that you want to perspire to be like. You want to have the same qualities. So, absolutely.
Yeah, we were just at this weekend, you know, this Saturday, Al and Brendan were training down in Miami, and we were here at the Omar Perry Sales Wealth Institute, Wealth Institute, and we learned a lot about stuff. You can always learn no matter what. Even if you go to a bad seminar, you're still going to get something that's good out of it. I don't care who it is. Even if you go to a bad seminar. So anything that's free, go to meetup.com, go to your local meetup.com and go to these free seminars. Heck, we do free seminars. We're on meetup.com. Just go search for personal development, sales, leadership, wealth. We're up there. Come to our free workshops every Thursday night that we do here. Not this Thursday because we have Thanksgiving, but they're free. We do it for free because we want to give back to the community. So, Brendan, has anybody answered the question, the hardest part of making your first $1 million yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so here's the thing. So here's the hardest part of making your first $1 million. Are you ready? Believing that you can. Now, that's a lot of work. That's hard, isn't it? Believing that you can. I'm just telling you from personal experience, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying this from personal experience. I'm not just saying this to impress you. I'm saying this to impress upon you. The hardest part of making your first $1 million is actually believing that you can. Now, here's the thing. Some of you have already made your first $1 million, but you're not aware of it, right? What does Grant Cardone say? Hey, make $50,000 a year for 20 years, you made $1 million. Make $100,000 a year for 10 years, you made $1 million. Have 5,000 people buy you $20 product, you made $1 million, right? Think about that. Or is it $200 product? $200
Or to make $250,000 a year for 4 years, you made $1 million.
Exactly. So, but here's the thing. Making your first $1 million, the hardest part about that is believing you can. If you believe you can or you believe you can't, you are you guys joining us on here today. Hope you got a lot of value out of it. Just believing that you do have the ability to achieve anything you want in life. A couple of great quotes you got here today. So let's sign off. And hey, we're going to announce our next one coming up here soon, and we'll be consistent on a consistent time on every single day that we do it on. Okay, so have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you back here real soon.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.